Shalom, Rabbi Singer. My name is Daniel. I'm a Noahide. It is a delight to be able to be a part of this lecture and video session that you are making and to be able to be on the questions list. I was raised Christian most of my life, being adopted from Vietnam into a very pro-Israel, pro Jewish, Protestant, Christian upbringing. I just wanted to say also that I am a big fan of your work. I love your books, Let's Get Biblical, and just to prove that I am a fan, I have both of your volumes, and they've been a tremendous blessing to me, as controversial as they are to many Christians and Messianics. Not to ramble on, the main question again is that I know that the main drive of your volumes that you've written in these books, Let's Get Biblical, is to free Jewish souls from the grasp of church indoctrination. What about souls that are not Jewish, but souls that have went through certain things that I've gone through in my past through the church systems, souls that have the potential to be B'nai Noach, to turn to the God of the Torah and to work alongside the people of Israel. What about those souls? I know that it's a very sensitive subject, and as somebody who is very well seasoned in Christianity, it is unfortunate and it breaks my heart to have learned how much damage that religion has done to the Jewish people.
If a person is in the church, they are looking to a savior that cannot redeem them. If they're in the church, they believe in a false teaching of Christendom. If they're in a church, they're praying in the name of one who is not a God. It's an act of blasphemy. So therefore, a Noachide cannot be in a church. A Noachide, the most important
Kan je dit even in de keuken zetten?
that he cannot commit an act of blasphemy against Hashem. He has to worship one God and one God only and have no other God, very much the way Noah worshiped one true God, Abraham worshiped one true God and no other. If someone's in the church, that means that that person believes that Ezekiel was a liar. Ezekiel tells us, the Torah tells us that the innocent cannot die for the sins of the wicked. That's very, very clear. The Torah tells us that human sacrifices are an abomination. Christianity, the church, is the motherlode of all human sacrifice. The notion that the Messiah is divine is opposed by the prophets of Israel. So a Noachide can't be in the church because we're told by Isaiah, the prophet of blessed memory, just as one of hundreds of examples, that the Messiah himself will fear God. He's not God. That's repeated both in verse 2 and again in verse 3 of Isaiah chapter 11. And these are uncontroversial passages. So if you have someone who's not Jewish, who's in the church, so that person needs to return to the God of Israel, reject all teachings of Christianity in order to be a Noachide. I need to just explain this one thing for those who are not familiar with this word Noachide. Judaism is different in so many ways than other religions or nations of the world, in that we're an ethno-religious people. We're both a nation and we have a faith. And our role in the world is to be a kingdom of priests, a light to the nations. That's our whole purpose in the world. Now, there are many people who feel an irresistible calling to be a part of the Jewish people. How could someone join another nation? It means you could change what you believe, but how could you join another race? How could you join the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? How do you join another nation? So in other religions, this is completely possible because in other religions, you just believe what they believe in. But a person who converts to Judaism, it means that they have a Jewish soul and they feel an irresistible calling to embrace the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as a Jew. If they go ahead, if she goes ahead with this, that means that she always had a Jewish soul. This is a very important principle. There are some people, not just some, but millions of people around the world who embrace the Jewish faith. That means the faith that God has laid out in the Torah and the prophets that follow. But they don't feel that calling to convert to Judaism, which means to join the Jewish nation. So what I'm going to do is I need to make complex phrases simpler. So we're speaking the same language. So these people are embracing a Ben Noach, or the B'nai Noach. The Noachites are people who have adopted the Jewish faith without joining the Jewish nation. Many such people eventually go on to convert to Judaism, not all. But if somebody is in the church, if somebody worships a man as God, if someone believes that she can eat the body and drink the blood of the Messiah, an idea that is vulgar and detestable to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, nevertheless, it is repeated in all the Gospels and even earlier Christian documents, such as 1 Corinthians 11. So, therefore, a person who is in the church is not a Noahide. A person who's in the church is lost in a place that's dark, because Anechi Kev Loish, I am God and I'm not a man, Hosea chapter 11, verse 9. And a person who's in the church, many good people are there, meaning well-meaning people are there. They don't know any better. And therefore, it's important to answer their questions, to help them know about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, so that he will one day become a member of the righteous among the nations, a Ben Noach, a member of the Chasidei Umois Olam, which means the faithful of the nations of the world. Thank you for your question.